Students had so much fun on this photo scavenger hunt. So what the students are going to do is they're going to be in groups. And when I formed groups, I used this spreadsheet. So if you come down here in the speaker notes, there's a ton of resources and links. So right here is the spreadsheet for file and link. What you do, there's a video right here if you want to watch it, but basically you create groups. Once you have your group numbers, you go into generator and you generate copies. And you want to have your Google slide in a folder, and because when you make a copy of it, it's just going to go in your drive if there's no folder. So you kind of want to think, stay organized, because I'm making about 21 copies here. And again, it depends on how many you keep writing. Another tip is if you highlight and drag this down, it will number them for you. So again, I want to copy a couple of these. Oh my gosh, let's see if I can click. Drag these down, and then there we go. I want to do one more to get 30, and now I've got 30 groups. So then I don't have to type all of those in. So again, I'm going to hit generate copies. I'm going to copy that, name it, and then I'm going to grab the link to that original file. Once I do that, I'm going to hit OK, and it's going to start making copies of these of the slide deck for my groups. Also with that folder, I'd like to add that you want to make sure you allow anyone in your school district to edit, because your students will need to edit their slide deck. Then what we did is students came up and they were kind of working in a station rotation, or they were working on like a roadmap, and they were kind of at, whenever they got to this stopping point, that's how their groups are formed. So we just said like 3 students in a group, and then we were like, you're group 1. The next group would finish their group 2. Some students had to wait in the waiting area for like 3 to 4 minutes. And so again, we kind of had groups that way. Once students formed groups, then they worked in the hallway or wherever on this photo scavenger hunt. So this photo scavenger hunt was created by Amanda Sandoval, and she had them in a Google Doc. So again, her original document is in the speaker notes along with her Twitter handle if you're interested in following her, because she's amazing. And on here, what she had, so if we pull up this one, she's got different words, and then the students have to take a photo, and then they have to explain. And I love this because they had about 15 to 20 minutes. We gave the group that I worked with 15 minutes, but you could do 20. They could have easily done it. And what we were going to do is however many words, they get so many points. If they finish before the 15 minutes, they might have gotten a point. So you can get really creative with who is the winner. Once you do that, students are going to take photos of these different words. And then after they take a photo, it's all about that explanation. And so, for example, let me see if I can find some of these, because there was some really good examples. And again, your students just need to be able to explain how they're doing. So let's go ahead and pull up this one. We had a couple students here. You can see they took pictures of right here, and they had to explain what that picture represented. A compound is a mixture of hand and this hand sanitizer, a mixture of 2 different things. So I love their explanation, and this is how they would get points. Atoms are tiny particles. And again, the students were able to go in and take all these different pictures. Here's an instrument that has volume. So it was just a really cool project to see. Some students got really creative. Let's see here. Like right here, atoms cannot be split apart, so they're really close together. They didn't get to that explanation. Here's one where it shows them the element of water, and some other elements are fire, water, and electricity. They gave other examples. Students were working so hard during their time limit, and the explanations were better than I ever imagined. They were getting so creative, as you can kind of see, with the definitions and all of these different words. So it was a really cool project to kind of watch the students excel in. And there's some other ones like down here. And again, you can just kind of see where it talks about elements. It talks about glue, for example. It's the building block so of everything, since they create modules and create everything. And so they kind of represented that with glue. So again, it was all about that student examples and explanation as they were working through this vocabulary. So instead of using this Google Doc, I thought it'd be easier for my students to use a Google slide. So I just put every word on its own slide. I added the placeholder for images, and then the students would just type on here. So the students had to watch this video first, and then they could begin the timer and work with their classmates. So it was, again, a really, really fun activity for the students.